Breaking news! The Cleveland Browns offseason has taken an unexpected turn, and it all starts with a name that once struck fear into the hearts of AFC North defensive backs, Deontay Johnson. Once a key weapon in the Pittsburgh Steelers' passing attack, Johnson now finds himself in uncharted territory in Cleveland, battling for relevance, redemption, and possibly one last chance to prove he still belongs in the NFL. But here's the thing, he may not even be considered a WR2 or WR3. According to ESPN's Bill Barnwell, Johnson could fall to WR4. That's not speculation. That's the brutal, current reality. Let's take a look at what's really going on in Berea. But before we go any further, hit the like button if you've been a Browns fan for 20 plus years. It's great to see fans of all ages. There are people here who were at the first game. If you can, comment something like, "Let's go Browns. Let's go to the Super Bowl." Now, let's get to the point. Barnwell didn't mince words. He labeled Johnson a luxury player, not a necessity, not even a quick fix. A luxury, and that's not a compliment. It's a warning, a reminder that if you want to survive on this Browns roster, especially as a fourth receiver, you better block like a tight end, run routes with precision, and still be ready to catch passes when needed. Because in Cleveland's offense, the bottom half of the receiving core needs to be more than just a pass catcher. They're asked to contribute in the screen game, in the trenches, in all sorts of ways that don't show up in fantasy football stats. So why is Deontay Johnson, a former Pro Bowler, mind you, on the verge of becoming WR4? Back to the facts. Johnson's last season with the Steelers was not pretty. It wasn't just the dip in production. It was the off-field behavior, the character concerns, the tantrums, and most of all, the deafening silence from teams after the season ended. No one signed him until after the NFL draft. This isn't bad luck. It's the league speaking out. And here we are. The Browns brought him in on a low-risk, high-reward deal. But in Cleveland, low risk also means disposable. If Johnson isn't willing to embrace a gritty, unglamorous role, he could be out before the season even begins. The opportunity is here, but so is the clock, and it's ticking loudly. Now, imagine this scenario. Cedric Tillman and Jamari Thrash, two young, ascending players, step up in training camp. They show consistency, grit, and chemistry with the quarterbacks. If that happens, Johnson becomes expendable. The upside of youth and coachability will outweigh the resume and reputation of a veteran who doesn't buy in. It's a brutal reality in the NFL, but it's also the truth. And Deontay Johnson, for all his raw talent and previous accolades, may be staring down his final shot at staying in the league. But that's just one storm cloud on the Browns' horizon. Let's shift to another brewing storyline. Ogbo Okoronkwo, the linebacker, arrived in Cleveland 2 seasons ago, bringing speed, edge presence, and a spark of unpredictability on defense. Drafted by the Rams in 2018, his NFL journey has been a story of perseverance. With the Browns, he flashed moments of brilliance. But brilliance alone might not be enough. The Browns are evaluating every piece on the roster, and Okoronkwo's name has emerged as one of the potential cuts amid a looming shakeup. Why? Partly performance, partly the emergence of younger players. But a large part of this comes down to finances. Every team in the NFL lives and dies by the cap sheet. If Okoronkwo's price tag starts to outweigh his production or his potential, then the decision could come quickly. And while he's respected in the locker room and admired for his leadership, football is a business. Sentiment doesn't make tackles on 3rd and 7. Economics, strategy, and scheme fit do. What's perhaps most intriguing and heartbreaking is the human element. Okoronkwo isn't just a name on a depth chart. He's a mentor, a locker room stabilizer, a culture guy. If the Browns let him go, they're not just losing a linebacker, they're losing a tone setter. Someone who's walked the hard road to the league and stayed standing. But the question remains, can sentiment hold up when the numbers say otherwise? And speaking of tension, the quarterback room in Cleveland right now, that's not a room. That's a pressure cooker. 4 men, 1 uncertain future. Deshaun Watson is still not 100%. His recovery continues to drag, and the franchise that mortgaged so much on him is left in limbo. Behind him, Joe Flacco, the battle-worn veteran who came in last year and sparked something magical. Then there's Shedeur Sanders, one of the most intriguing rookie talents in recent memory. And finally, Gabriel. Let's talk about Gabriel. He isn't just filling out the depth chart. He's a wild card, a prospect with a chip on his shoulder, embracing this opportunity like a man fighting for his career. Gabriel knows he's not the favorite, but he's not trying to be. He's trying to be the hardest worker, the smartest learner, the one who survives the storm. And that mindset might just keep him around. The coaching staff, led by Kevin Stefanski, has a tough decision ahead. Keep 4 quarterbacks, cut the veteran, roll the dice on youth, or hope Watson can finally deliver on the investment? This is more than a quarterback battle. This is a moment of identity for the Browns. Who are they going to be in 2025? What kind of leadership do they want in the huddle? What kind of voice do they want in the locker room? These decisions, Johnson's role, Okoronkwo's future, Gabriel's emergence, are all threads in the same fabric. A fabric being stretched by expectation, doubt, and the relentless pressure of a fan base starving for postseason glory. And here's where I turn it over to you, Dawg Pound. What do you make of all this? Is Deontay Johnson worth the trouble? Should Okoronkwo stay for his leadership, even if younger talent is knocking? And does Dillon Gabriel deserve a real shot at this roster? And while the quarterback room continues to bubble with uncertainty, the decisions made in these next few months won't just determine who takes snaps in week 1, they could reshape the entire Browns season. Kevin Stefanski's handling of this delicate situation could either solidify his standing with the organization or raise more questions about leadership and long-term vision. Because in a locker room filled with competition, only one thing brings clarity: results. For Dillon Gabriel, this is no ordinary camp battle. This is the NFL's version of survival of the fittest, or, more accurately, survival of the most adaptable. And Gabriel, with his combination of athleticism, maturity, and humility, is trying to flip the script. He knows he wasn't the top draft pick, the media darling, or the veteran presence. But what he brings is hunger. And in a quarterback room this crowded, hunger might be the X factor that gives him an edge. But let's go deeper, because this quarterback drama isn't just about snaps and stats. It's about trust. Do Stefanski and the front office trust that Deshaun Watson will finally deliver? Do they believe Joe Flacco has one more magical stretch left in him? Are they ready to hand the keys to a rookie like Shedeur Sanders? Or do they value the potential upside of someone like Gabriel, who's quietly been impressing behind the scenes? Meanwhile, the rest of the roster watches closely. The decisions at quarterback affect every other position group. They set the tone for training camp. They shape the energy of every huddle. And when players like Amari Cooper or David Njoku run routes, or when the offensive line digs into their stances, they want to know who's leading this offense. That's why these moments matter. Because the QB position is about more than arm strength, it's about presence. And Dillon Gabriel is trying to prove that even if his name isn't the loudest, his impact can be. And let's not forget about Shedeur Sanders. The buzz is real. The potential is tantalizing. But is he ready? The lights in Cleveland are bright. Expectations are unforgiving. And while Sanders has the raw tools, the NFL isn't college football. It's faster, tougher, less forgiving. That's why Stefanski must tread carefully, because one wrong move in this quarterback carousel could derail the momentum the Browns have been building. Then there's Joe Flacco, a leader, a Super Bowl MVP, a quarterback who stepped into the chaos last year and stabilized the offense when it mattered most. But does he have enough gas left in the tank? And more importantly, does the organization believe that continuity and leadership can outweigh youth and upside? These are not hypothetical questions. They're urgent decisions. And with Deshaun Watson's health still unresolved, the Browns can't afford to get it wrong. That brings us to a broader reality that's emerging in Cleveland. This team is on the brink of transformation. Every position group is facing a test of depth, talent, and identity. The wide receiver room is no exception. If Deontay Johnson doesn't carve out a meaningful role, someone else will. Cedric Tillman continues to rise. Jamari Thrash is earning the respect of teammates, and the Browns front office isn't waiting around for anyone to figure it out. You produce, or you're replaced. It's that simple. The same applies to defense. Ogbo Okoronkwo's story is inspiring, but inspiration doesn't fill up the stat sheet. The Browns are chasing a championship window, and they know that emotional loyalty must sometimes give way to cold, hard decisions. Every coach, every scout, every front office executive is laser focused on one thing: impact. So if you're not bringing impact, you're bringing baggage. That's the tone in Berea this offseason, and it's why this summer's training camp will be one of the most electric and consequential we've seen in recent years. So what does this all mean for the